Hi, my name is Lee Baldridge, and I'm going to tell you a bit about business meetings in the Philippines. First, we're going to talk about dress etiquette. Business attire is very conservative. Stress is on the word conservative. It's important to not be distracting in the business meeting world. Men should wear dark-colored conservative business suits, at least for the initial meeting. Eventually, once they've had one or two meetings, they can figure out what everyone else wears and what is appropriate for that setting. Women should wear a conservative suit, a skirt and blouse combo, or a dress. Basically, something that looks professional. They're allowed to wear bright clothing as well, as long as it's not distracting to the eye. And appearances matter, and visitors should dress well. You do not want to seem like you don't care about the meeting just because of your appearance. Next, we're going to talk about the business meeting etiquette. One of the biggest stressors in the Philippines regarding business meetings is the fact that they should be scheduled. Appointments are required and should be made 3 or 4 weeks in advance. That is a lot of time if you ask me. I know that the company I work for, we schedule only a few days in advance, and even then people forget that we're supposed to meet with them. That's why it is a good idea to reconfirm a few days prior to the meeting, as situations may change and you don't want somebody to end up canceling on you. Avoid scheduling meetings the week before Easter. This is because Filipinos usually have festivities going on that time of year and are very busy and would think it was rude if you were trying to schedule during their holiday. Punctuality is expected. For the most part, Filipino colleagues will be punctual as well. It's important to show up on time when you're expected and even a few minutes beforehand. Face-to-face meetings are also preferred in the Philippines. This is because they feel that it is more serious and connects you on a deeper relationship and on a different level. Different things like telephone, fax, letters, and emails are just not the same. I know that we use GoToMeetings at my company, which allows us to share a computer screen with the different people that we're meeting with. In the Philippines, this would be unacceptable, whereas we think it's effective and helps us get our point across by not traveling. Filipinos, they want to get to know you on a different level and make sure that you go visit them, or else they'll be upset that you're not trying to connect with that relationship or that you don't care enough. Before your meeting, make sure to send an agenda and informational materials in advance so that your colleagues may prepare for the discussion. The worst thing is to show up and have people not know exactly what you're going to talk about. This can be frustrating, and in the Philippines, they want to have an agenda ready. The actual decision maker may not be present at the meeting. Also, avoid making exaggerated claims. This can make you seem insincere and dishonest. Always accept any food or drink that's offered to you. If you turn down an offer of hospitality, your colleagues may lose face. This means that they may change their mind about the decision that they were going to make regarding your business, all because they thought you were rude. It's important to remain for a period of social conversation at the end of the meeting. We're all used to our fast-paced lives, and it is important to set aside a bit to take time to build relationships. On a side note, business cards are very important. You should offer your business card first. Make sure that your business card includes your title as well. Present and receive business cards with 2 hands so that it is readable by the recipient. This means that you would hand it to them with your 2 hands so that they can read the card. Examine the card briefly when they give you theirs, and make sure that you look at it specifically before putting it away in your business card container. This shows that you actually sincerely care about what they just handed you. Some senior level executives only give business cards to people that are similar in rank to them. Next, we will cover the topic of business meals. Light refreshments are often served at business meetings. Never offend your host by declining. If you've had a big breakfast or a lunch right before you arrived, still eat something anyway so that they feel that you are not declining their meal. In restaurants as well as private homes, always follow the lead of your host and wait to be instructed where to sit, and if it's a buffet, when to start helping yourself to the food. While many Asian cultures believe that leaving a small portion of food on your plate at the end of the meal is a show of respect, Filipinos don't mind if you show your appreciation by finishing every last bite. Business meetings that are conducted over lunch or dinner are likely to be the most productive and profitable. A Filipino businessman thrives in his congenial atmosphere, and it is an excellent way to build trust and friendships. Take these chances to seal the deal and build relationships that are a key factor in the culture as well as making business succeed. Always remember to follow up with a written thank you card for being invited to the event. Lastly, we're going to talk about business negotiation and corporate culture. Like mentioned, you never know if you'll be meeting with the decision maker or not. It may take several visits to do so. Decisions are made at the very top of the company. Filipinos also make sure that the most important businessman is not there so that they can weed out the inappropriate data or different conclusions that might not be made or make sense to them. So they make sure that all this information is held true before then involving the head honcho boss. Filipinos avoid confrontation if at all possible. It's difficult for them to say no. Likewise, their yes may merely mean perhaps, and later they'll end up telling you no when it's an easier setting to say no in. At each stage of negotiation, try to get agreements in writing to avoid any miscommunication or confusion. If you raise your voice or lose your temper, you lose face. This means again that they may decide that you are rude and they don't want to do business with you. Filipinos do business with people more than the companies. If you change representatives during negotiations, you may have to start over. Negotiations may be relatively slow as well. Most processes take a long time because group consensus is really important in the Filipino culture. Decisions are often reached on the basis of feelings rather than facts, which is why it's important and imperative to develop a broad network of personal relationships. Another last thing in the corporate culture is to not remove your suit jacket unless the most important Filipino does. Now, you've learned some great ways to make sure that you know how to do business in the Philippines and make it more effective and productive. Thank you for your time.